Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot and a red state, utilizing Tarot to offer insight into these sometimes terrifying times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. So part one got a little long, and that's okay because I really have been wanting to share some of these more intuitive type thoughts and things that I've been getting like in my meditation work. And so that video, it was exactly what it needed to be. So this reading is going to be the political future of Chuck Schumer. I also want to be looking into, we'll see how far this goes, but one of the readings that I've been wanting to do is the health of the Democratic Party and the health of the Republican Party. And I did those readings back, early on in the life of this channel. And I've been feeling like I need to kind of update that. And after we saw what Chuck Schumer and the Democrats did there in the House or the Senate. And so I gave you guys that video to watch from Park Rose Permaculture. And something that she mentioned in there is that notice the 8 Senate Democrats that were willing to fall on the sword. They were ones that were either retiring or they aren't up for re-election until 2028. They think that we won't remember. Oh no, we'll remember. And if they were serious, and that the rest of the Democrats in the Senate are just going to be playing along, like, you know, that they are, this is going to be some, like they're outraged, but they're actually, this was all a strategy. And before somebody, you know, oh, they're playing 3D chess. No, no, this is our health insurance that we're talking about. Everybody knew they were going to cave. And every time I looked at this and our healthcare, it was like, if they don't cave, if they cave, this is, and that's what they've done. Now, I guess one good thing is it's now on the Republicans to figure out health insurance, and Trump's wanting to send, you know, it's like, I'm going to send $2,000 out for people to have health insurance. Okay, like that won't even cover a month. Okay, whatever. And then like $5,000 on tariffs, and it's like, do we have 10? You know, do I hear it 8? You know, whatever. Do I hear 6? Do I hear 7? I'm sorry, I just had to make that joke. Those of you that have teenagers and younger kids right now, you understand. So anyway, my son hates it, and so I like to torment him with it sometimes, all in good nature. So this is, so Trump is delusional. He's deranged. He's got, you know, he is not fit for office for a variety of reasons, but mentally is one of them. And it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. So, Democrats, there's a lot of cleaning house that needs to happen, and they think that we won't remember. I remember why we don't have universal health care, looking back at, when was that, when did we get the ACA? And it kept having to be, they had like a really good plan, and then they kept whittling away at it to entice the Republicans to vote for it, which they never did. And then we ended up with like less than, because to try to appease the Republicans, which never happened. Yes, I remember that. And they think we're going to forget this betrayal. So anyway, I have what I'm using my Wiser Tarot, and I keep joking saying I'm going to use the bad news interpretation for this for Chuck, but I want to look at his political future. The Democrats, if they're, this is where I was going before I got into that whole rant. Watch the Senate Democrats. Are they going to be calling for removing Chuck Schumer as the minority leader? Because if not, then no, they are in on this, and they're just as guilty as those 8 that voted to take away our health insurance. Look at the House Democrats. Hakeem Jeffries is out there. Oh yeah, I'm all mad, but I'm not going to call for his removal. What the fuck? Are you kidding? So yeah, no, I have no love for Hakeem Jeffries either. I think the future of our party, of the Democratic Party, is going to be Bernie Sanders and AOC. It's going to be the Democratic Socialists, and that there needs to be a lot of education on what that means. It means that we have a government that is, you know, for the people, by the people, of the people, all of that. It's a government that works for the people, and services that work for the people. It's like you don't like SNAP, then have an have a livable wage. Then that way you have less people on SNAP. I've had this conversation. I can't tell you how many times I've had that conversation to where I don't even, because I don't talk to you maggots anymore anyway. And so it's like, and they just get this glazed look on their face like, well, we can't do that. So anyway, that's enough ranting for that. I did all that in the other video. So I'm going to look at specifically this first question is going to be a really snarky look at what is the political future for Chuck Schumer. Hopefully it's the door and the foot hitting his ass on the way out. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only. The political future of Chuckles Schumer. What does his political future look like? And as I said, I'm using the Wiser Tarot today. This deck, it has really vibrant colors, and that's why I really like that about this deck. So, Chuckles Schumer, what does his political future look like? Okay. Queen of Pentacles. This is about the money. This is about values. This is what do we value? Okay. And holding on to political power. Okay. Remember, I'm going to be doing the really snarky interpretation of this, okay? So there, Chuckles, you had a choice to make. You had a choice of how do we take care of people? How are we going to show the American people that we value them, that we value their votes, but and that the government should work for the people. And instead, what we have, his challenge is he wants to hold on to political power. His position as the minority leader is more important than how do we take care of people. They don't value the American people. They value the almighty dollar. Okay? And that's where we have a problem in the Democratic Party with these establishment Democrats. They're more concerned about money than people. That sounds a little familiar. We're about ready to become his worst nightmare. Good. I hope every last one of these damn establishment Democrats never have another moment's peace in their life, knowing that they have betrayed the American people. I told you guys it could be a snarky reading. I have no loyalty whatsoever to any Democrat that thought that this was a good idea. Okay, the past experiences blocked. What is blocked? So let me, and this really could be the foundation of this is that, we want somebody who's going to stand up to this administration. We want somebody who is going to literally, be like, you shall not pass. But instead, they chose the almighty dollar. This is going to be, we are going to be their worst nightmare. Oh my God. So how many messages have you left on Chuck Schumer's voicemail? I may be good for, 2 today. And it's like, it was, I probably can't even repeat here on Facebook or not Facebook, good God, not that. On YouTube, it wasn't that bad. It was just a lot of F-bombs of, I hope you're happy. So call often. Tell them exactly what you feel about that. And this is, they don't want to hear it. And it's like, too bad. The foundation is you weren't taking care of people. And so you're going to hear about it. And see all this water here? All the watery, there's a lot of big feels and emotions right now. And they don't want to hear it. And it's like, too bad. We are going to be your worst nightmare. You can't escape this. The disappointment, is that not just the disappointment? Now, here's the hope card. And remember, I do always read this as hope. This is not going to be hope for Chuck Schumer. This is going to be a new leadership. I'm going to see this absolutely as new leadership. What do they usually have? There's the minority leader and then like the whatever, people next to him, those people are going to be gone. And I'm going to choose to see this as AOC and Bernie Sanders. That energy, I mean, no, I do not think that Bernie Sanders or AOC will be any, party leader or minority leader, anything like that. But that's the energy that we're going to have. This is the energy that we're going to have coming in. We have to get rid of the old school. We have to get rid of literally the old corporate rot that has been so pervasive in our political parties, both of them, both political parties. And here we're going to have the progressives that are going to be coming in. But first, we got to clean house. Okay. So, corporate Democrats, TikTok motherfuckers, you are going to be voted out. We will not forget this at all. And if any of you are caught up in any of that Epstein file shit or any of that, the corruption and look at who was that? Menendez? Yeah, he went to jail. Yeah, get ready, because that's what's waiting for you. And the potential outcome. And it is going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. And I'm just seeing like the Tower card. Justice is coming for them, and quickly, swiftly. Look at this. I'm seeing, let me look at this. I can see it a little bit better like this because the way the light is, like this is a little bit dark. So look at that vibrant red. That's what stands out so much. And the yellow, this is going to be the American people charging forward. Hell hath no fury like the American people who have just had their health insurance more than likely taken away. Okay, that's what they have coming down on them. And if you look at the way this card, whenever I lay it down, it's facing them. We are the ones that are going to be their worst nightmare. They don't want to hear it, but too fucking bad. You chose your corporate interest over the American people. So you know what? You get what you deserve. Okay, so if I'm going to be looking at this actually like as Chuck Schumer, no, it's not going well for him. He is trying to hold on to political power. He's going to have some kind of messaging of how he did this. There were reasons, and I don't even care. I don't even want to go into, I don't want to waste intuitive capital, sifting through his line, the line of bullshit that he's going to try to feed the American people. We are not having it. It's like, nope. And there is going to be, chaos is going to rain down upon the Democratic Party for this. I can't even imagine the phone calls that they're getting right now. And, I don't have a Democratic senator in my state. Now, I will say, I do have Josh Hawley as a senator, and he did write that op-ed. I don't want to give him too much credit, but, he at least did that. So now, okay, chicken shit, Holly, let's see your plan. Let's see your plan for healthcare. So yeah, I think this is what's awaiting Congress. I think it's not just the Democrats, but I think all of them. We are their worst nightmare. Good. The American people are not happy. So let me just ask, because I really think, what is going to happen to Chuckles here? Are those upside down? Some of these cards just got flipped around, and I don't know why. Okay, we'll figure that out. So what's going to happen to Chuckles Schumer here? Is he going to remain as leader? Or, the minority leader there. Is he going to remain as minority leader? There's going to be somebody that is going to be calling for his removal. The Queen of Swords, the fourth sword of truth falls. I always think of this as kind of a, like the minor arcana of the Justice card is kind of how I always see this card. So justice will be served. And notice that this card is looking at, this Knight of Swords here. So a lot of swords, they're not having a good time. Good. We aren't either. And the challenge to him is drunk on power. So, it's like with these two cards together, it's almost like it's almost feeling like that, like the Trump thing, like he's going to dig his heels in because he's drunk on power and doesn't want to leave and is going to be forced to leave. Like, that is what I'm feeling about Chuck Schumer. He will not step down. He will have to be forced to leave. So there's nothing here saying that he's voluntarily stepping down. Going to come to some kind of agreement? Yeah, unless it's you stepping down, Chuck Schumer. I don't care what the agreement is. But there is some kind of agreement, some kind of talks. And I was asking about his speaker, or his leadership role. Brand new beginnings. It's also, it would also be foolish to leave him in as the minority leader because he cannot lead. He is not a leader. Okay, he can't even have a fucking book tour, okay? He had to cancel his book tour. So this isn't just me ranting. This is like, let's look at the evidence. You know, he can't even have a book tour because of this. And the lover's card. And this is in the past. Like, he thought that this was going to be one thing, and now it's, and a lot of pairs here. So let me kind of, and it comes to an end. Yeah, whatever it is that he thinks he can do, I really think that he's going to be forced out, and that he's going to try to negotiate his way into staying. So when, I know, time and tarot, when can we expect him to no longer be minority leader? And I'm not talking about he becomes majority leader because, you know, of the House being, or the Senate being flipped blue. I want to know, when is he no longer going to be in a position of authority and power? Okay, and so as far as when, 3 months, Pentacles. I'm kind of looking over, I've got notes here on time. I'm going to be doing more on time and tarot. So 3, 9, the wealthy country, and a new, like, there's going to be new leadership. I wonder if there's not going to be a female, like Hakeem Jeffries. Like, this is a woman, and then, or this is going to be a woman who is elected into the new leadership role here in the Senate. Yeah. Okay. So real quick, I wanted to tell you guys. So time and tarot has always been really hard for me, and my tarot mentor gave me this kind of like how she does time and tarot, and so I'm going to be working more on that. And some of you guys have said that you were interested in classes, and I'm going to be, I'm actually putting a lot of thought into that, of what that's going to look like. I'm even tempted to, you know, go back to Facebook, you know, fuck Zuck, and I don't have Facebook, but for the groups, only for the groups. So I'm thinking about that. But one of the things that I want to do here is to show you guys kind of like where I'm kind of working on my skills as a tarot reader. Time and tarot has always been hard, so I'm going to be working on that. And in the previous video, I said I think I'm going to be getting more stuff like better, more intuitively than necessarily just the cards. So the readings may shift a little bit, and that's going to be me working with that intuitive piece. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of point that out. Those of you that are wanting classes, kind of, you know, just sometimes those of us, you know, we have things that we always have to work on, and so that's going to be kind of one of those things I'm working on. I just wanted to point that out. So with this, I think that within about 3 months, and there's going to be talks, and there's like a new leader, somebody who takes care of, who understands the assignment. That's the best way I can describe that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a female, okay? That absolutely, because of the wealthy woman here. That, or we get new speakers, like new leaders in both the House and the Senate, and one is a female and one's a male, okay? That, either one of those is what's going to be with that right there. So, yeah. I'm going to say 3 months. And, but remember, I'm still working on the time and tarot. So the main thing to really remember is there's going to be negotiations for him to try to stay in power. However, he's not, this death card is like, no, he's not. We're going to be done with old Chuckles there. So good. Anyway, that's what I get today. I'm trying to think. I still want to do I kind of was wanting to do the health of the Democratic Party. I think I'm still going to do that because I want to know, are the progressives going to be able to get, take over? That's really what I want to know. And then the health of the Republican Party. Adelita Grijalva looks like she's going to be sworn in. I was getting it was going to be more towards the third week, so I'm wondering if that's not going to be like the end, more towards the end of this week. That, or that vote. I still don't know. I can look at that. So yeah, I've got some things I can look at, and I will be figuring that out. But yeah, I think the next couple of readings are going to be the health of the Democratic Party and the health of the Republican Party. So thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a great day.